Yo, what's up guys, MegaDPAL today bringing another Pokemon XY Wi-Fi battle for you guys. So today I'm against Mulvone19 and this is a pretty good battle we had, a very good battle in fact. So if you could leave a quick like, help us reach the like goal, comment on what you think, and of course subscribe for more. So looking at team preview, today I'm running this hyper offensive team built around Mega Scizor. Look at my opponent's team, he's running a pretty offensive team of his own built around Megazord, which looks to me to be Megazord X. So without any further ado, let's just get straight on into the battle, shall we? So I'm going to decide to lead off with my Landorus T, as I am the Scarf variant of Landorus T. The Mulvone's also going to decide to lead out with his Lando. So right off the bat I do notice his Intimidate does in fact activate first. Revealing is also a Scarf variant. So he's going to go initially for that knockoff. A very good play on his part as I went for the U-turn, predicting his own U-turn. To knock off, however, is going to be huge, as he will knock off my Scarf. Now my Landorus no longer checks his Keldeo, his Latios and his Zord X. So knowing full well he's locked into a knockoff, I'm going to go into my Scizor. Predicting his incoming Zord switch, which is super obvious, I'm actually going to pull a double going into my Latios right now. As I can just drop a Draco. He only really has his Ferrothorn as a switch in, and I want to get damage off on this thing as his Ferrothorn is a huge threat to my team. But unfortunately I missed his Draco Meteor. So I'm going to force switch now. I'm actually going to go into my Garchomp. Just use this time to set my Stealth Rocks as it reveals the T-Wave right now, which is nice. So like I said, I'm just going to go for the Stealth Rocks. He's going to go for Leech Seed. I have sped this pot up a little bit because it does get kind of stally with his Ferrothorn. So I'm going to go for Fire Blast as I'm packing. That's a solid 2-hit KO on his Ferrothorn, which is great. And he goes for T-Wave. A little bit of an over prediction, predicting my switch on out of there. So we're knowing full well he does have a Blastoise on his team, which can easily eat up Fire Blast. I'm actually going to predict that and go straight for the Earthquake. The Earthquake will do a decent bit of damage after Rocks and onto this physical defensive Blastoise, so that's nice. So we're expecting a Rapid Spin or even an Ice Beam here. I'm going to make the switch on out into my Greninja. He's most likely going to go for that spin, but I'm going to go out into my Greninja regardless because I am packing the Grass Knot and therefore I can force him to stay in, not expecting my set. But no, he's going to play it nicely here, he's going to play it safe. Scout out, see what I'm running, go back out into his Ferrothorn. Good play on his part, as he's going to easily be able to take that Grass Knot. Unfortunately, I'm not packing the HP Fire on my Greninja or my Latios, so this Ferrothorn is a huge threat to my team, so I'm going to force to go back out into my Garchomp right now. As he goes for Leech Seed, predicting that switch. Very nice play on his part. I'm surprised he didn't switch to scout the HP Fire regardless, but it works out very nice for him. And what I'm going to do now is just use time to set my Stealth Rocks once again, as he's going to go ahead and set up a layer of Spike. A nice Spike of his own, which is good for him, I suppose. And what I'm actually going to do now is, once again, just going to go ahead and go for a Earthquake, I do believe, because he's at a decent amount of HP. I need to weaken this Ferrothorn. Earthquake was my safest play if he did decide to go ahead and switch back out into the Blastoise. But he takes me out with a Power Whip now, which is good for him. And I'm just going to use this time to go out into my Bishop. The reason why I went into my Bishop is I could potentially scare this thing out with a potential low kick. It does need his Ferrothorn for the likes of my Greninja. So I go for the Swords Dance. It doesn't, it stays in, goes for T-Wave. The reason why I went for the Swords Dance was on the off chance it went out into his Blastoise just to easily take a hit, try and get off a spin. I do know I'll be able to knock it out with a +2 knockoff at that range. But that's not the case. Either way, I'm going to be able to knock out his Ferrothorn now, which is great for me. This is huge for me. So down goes his Ferrothorn. In comes his Bishop counter now, his Keldeo. I cannot touch this thing, but I do have a Latios on my team, so I am just going to go out into that. As it predicts that very nicely, goes for Icy Wind. Based off that damage, revealing is in fact Specs. And because of the speed drop, it will be able to 2-hit KO me now. So I am going to be force switch. Just going to go out into my Scizor now, as it's the best thing I have to take Icy Wind from this thing. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just going out into my Scizor. And now what I'm going to do here is I'm actually expecting to go out into his Blastoise just to get off that spin as soon as possible for his Charizard, which is a huge threat to my team, which is why I made it my priority to get up my Rocks. So expecting that Blastoise to come in, I'm actually going to pull a double guy into my Greninja. But that's not really the case, it actually goes out to his Landorus. A little bit of a questionable play just because I do need damage off on his Landorus to the point where I can take it out with my a Sucker Punch from my Bishop. So I could have easily gone for a U-turn and got more damage off on his Landorus in combination with a Stealth Rock. So like I said, a little bit questionable play, but I'm going to be forced out into my own Landorus now, as a U-turn will kill my Ninja. So this is going to work out exceptionally well for him, as he's going to be able to U-turn out into his Blastoise. Knowing full well I can't touch it, it can live any hit and just get off a Rapid Spin. So I'm just going to go straight for that U-turn on out of there, get a little bit of chip damage off on this Blastoise. Go back out into my Greninja now, expecting, once again, just off the off chance he did in fact want to go for the Ice Beam. If not, and he does go for the Rapid Spin, I can just take it out with a Grass Knot. like I revealed earlier, so that's exactly what I'm going to do now. And he's just going to sack his Blastoise now. He doesn't really have anything to switch on into my Greninja. So down goes his Blastoise, and but that thing did its job, got rid of the rocks, which is great for him. He does get a free switch back out into this thing though. The huge threat is Landorus T. I am once again just going to go back out into my own Lando, as it's the best thing I have to keep checking this thing. Get off that Intimidate just to take a U-turn. So he's going to U-turn and out of there. And I believe he's going to go out into his Latios now. Yeah, he's going to go out into Latios, can easily just drop a Draco. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm actually going to go out into my Scizor. Scizor is the most expendable Pokemon I do have left on my team, as I really can't touch anything. It does have his Zardex, which can set up on me, and it does have his Keldeo, which can easily +2 Bullet Punches. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm actually going to Mega Evolve. As opposed to going for that Bullet Punch, I am actually going to go for that Swords Dance. The reason why I went for SD was on the off chance he does decide to double on out into his Charizard. It can easily set up on the likes of my Scizor. I wanted to get as much damage off on that thing. So, but that's not the case, is he's just going to drop a secondary Draco and take out my Scizor. So that's nice for him. I can just go out into my Greninja now. He really has nothing who can switch on into my my Greninja, so I'm just going to play it safe, go straight for Ice Beam. Will OHKO this Latios, which is great, so down goes his threat. And he's going to be able to get yet another free switch into his Landorus. And here I am going to be forced to sack my Greninja at this point, just because it will die to the Entry Hazard damage. So I'm just going to sack this thing, as he just goes straight for that U-turn. It is his safest play. Going to go out into his Charizard now, which is fine, because whatever it goes out into gives me a free switch on into my Latios. I am just going to drop a Draco, is my safe play. He has absolutely no switch-ins, and he basically just has to decide what he wants to sack. He decides to sack his Charizard at this point, which is great, so I don't have to worry about this thing setting up and wrecking through my team. So he's down to his last two now, his Landorus and his Keldeo. What I'm going to do is once again go back out into my Landorus, as it is my check for his own Lando. And expecting his U-turn yet again, as he's just going to go straight for that and go out into his Keldeo. And here what is going to happen is he unfortunately scores a crit, which definitely could have mattered, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't in the long run. What's going to happen is go out to Keldeo, and now what he's going to do is pull a double back on out into his Landorus. Very good play, because had I sacked my Lando at this point, I would have been into my gone into my my Latios, been able to drop a Draco and got a kill. But he goes for a knockoff here. I should score a crit with the U-turn, and the reason why this didn't matter is that it didn't matter at all. It does get it into the range where Sucker Punch will be able to take me out, but I can reveal to you guys that the crit doesn't matter at all. So here it's basically 50-50. I'm going to actually go out into my Latios, predicting his Keldeo to come in on my Bishop, and it basically seals the game. Had he gone for the U-turn, I would have lost right there. It would have been game over, but it doesn't. It does go out into his Keldeo as I predicted, able to drop the Side Shock and take out his Keldeo, which is huge. Now he's down to his Landorus. I'm just going to go out to my own Landorus now, just as Intimidate fodder. Once his thing is in fact at -1, I can just go out into my Bishop now. Like I did mention, after that U-turn crit, it does get me into the range where one Sucker Punch will be enough to take him out. The reason why this didn't matter is because a U-turn, -1 U-turn coming from his Landorus does exactly 35 damage, max damage considering. And after the life orb damage, that does an extra 14%. So at the range of HP I was at, which was 58 HP, I would have lived with 9 HP and been able to go for a secondary Sucker Punch. Anyway, so that is going to be the game. Really close. I actually had a lot of fun in this game. I hope you guys did too. So if you did, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.